Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and we are in exciting times. Let me hit the refresh button. We're at 3.68 trillion. We've got a $2.64 XRP. Let's take, all you're hearing about is Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin's up around like 100% on the year. But let's look at the truth for a minute. We're up 488% on the year with XRP. For the 1 day, we're up 7.81%, 7 day, 18%, on the month, 14%, and then on the year, 488%. Folks, let me tell you, I've been here for a long time, and what happens every time that these markets start to take off, it gets scarier and scarier. You better, if you haven't done it, you better put your things where your XRP or your crypto is safe. I have a bunch of mine at iTrustCapital. They're one of my sponsors, and I have it there for a reason, and this is the reason.
Introducing Premium Custody Accounts, a non-IRA account with the same advanced features and trusted protections of our IRA accounts, but free from contribution limits. Let us show you what makes Premium Custody different. By using a closed-loop system, which allows US dollars and crypto in and only US dollars out, this ensures your crypto stays secure from hacks, scams, and other risks. Your assets are held off balance sheet, which means they are never leveraged or mixed with business operations. Buy and sell digital assets directly from your desktop and mobile app.
So you get institutional grade custody, and the only fee is a 1% trading fee. And you can go to my page on iTrustCapital. It's iTrustCapital.com/XRP Army. And they give you a $100 funding bonus using this promo code XRP6. Go check it out. Now let's look at things. The Bitcoin PSYOP is focused, of course, on Bitcoin having hit another all-time high. It's even higher now at like 117 or 118 something. Like I said, Bitcoin's up 100% on the year. Yahoo! But XRP's up almost 500%. But don't talk about that. You're not supposed to talk about that. Bitcoin Magazine says Bank of America, Ripple partner, research report shows Bitcoin is the best performing currency of the year. Look. So what that means, the translation, if you're not into the PSYOP and you're not buying all of that, the translation is XRP is the best performing currency of the year. And just a good little reminder, I've been saying it for years, no matter what was going on with XRP price, no matter what kind of FUD was going on inside and outside of the XRP community, that's important to note too. XRP is not an ordinary asset. Ripple's not an ordinary company. XRP will be the foundation of the new financial system. For 7 years, we've been telling you this. Then here's more of the PSYOP. Fox Business, Bitcoin is coiled like a spring. Well, if Bitcoin's coiled like a spring with its fake regulatory clarity while there was no level playing field, next week is crypto week in Congress. They're saying this crypto legislation gets passed finally. Hence, level playing field.
As well. So I want to take another look at another name that you like here, and that's Bitcoin. Now, if I read the notes properly, did you say 140,000 for Bitcoin is possible from here?
It's very possible with
Really?
upside from there. And I don't want to oversell it. And look, I'll leave the story to the pomp, but I focus on the charts. And this chart is coiled like a spring here. Now, keep in mind, as many of these momentum stocks have surged off the bottom, Bitcoin's been doing yeoman's work of consolidating within this well-defined trading channel. But it is coiled, as I said, to break out and play catch up to names like Coinbase, names like Robinhood that are already back at the high. So a breakout above 110, which is last resistance, projects measured upside to 140 with upside from there to 170.
Now, let me make a prediction. I believe all this has been being held back before legislation. My prediction is all this that you've been seeing, Bitcoin, all these years in the media, I'll bet you that switch flips. And you're going to see all of a sudden, out of nowhere, all these media outlets and crypto media outlets, all of a sudden, once you've got legislation, there's a level playing field, all of a sudden you're not just going to be seeing Bitcoin charts every time you watch the news. You're going to see XRP charts and maybe a handful of others, the blue chips. Bitcoin's decisive break above 118 has flipped the risk on switch for crypto. Traders are now watching if altcoins such as ETH, Sol, and XRP will follow similar momentum. Truth is, XRP has more momentum. Arthur Hayes that created BitMEX says monster alt season is coming. And then Milky Bull says alt season summer about to kick off. You can feel it, folks. Now, remember when they were telling us that the idea of Ripple becoming a bank was just conspiracy? And remember all these years of all this stuff? Listen to this.
Look, recently we've spoken about Hidden Road, the brokerage service coming in, and their use of the XRP ledger and the RLUSD token, the stable coin, as collateral, and that's just been confirmed by CEO Brad Garlinghouse recently. But then, out of the blue, Ripple decides they want to go as a federal bank. Getting a license to be a bank from the OCC, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency.
And remember, they just announced there's going to be a new pro-crypto OCC person yesterday, I think.
And then also possibly apply for a Fed master account. And I'm just like blown away. It is a massive, massive move. So if it comes off, it hasn't come off yet, but if it does come off, well, you know, there's some serious value there. So, yes.
Serious value there. If you think he's not talking about XRP, then I've got an igloo for sale in South Georgia. And then how quickly can banks roll out XRP-powered payments once regulations are in place from Smoke?
Which I think should be quite comfortable for you. How long is the implementation process to get started with Ripple?
Yeah, so typically we look at about a 2 to 3 month basis from start to finish. A lot of that is part of the onboarding process. So we go through a credit review process. We then have an onboarding process. That's relatively straightforward. In terms of the technical integration side, it can take between, I'd say, probably 1 to 2 months. That includes things like testing, integrating into the system, and just general process. I think the fastest one I've ever done was probably a 3-week implementation, which was very fast. And probably the slower ones hit that sort of 3-month mark. But it's as fast as you can put resources into making it happen. And we're here to support that.
Okay.
There you go. Germany's top banks managing $4.5 trillion in assets are moving into crypto. Oh, I wanted to show you this too. Today at 2:30, John Deaton is going to be doing a live cast. Is he doing it? I'm assuming he's either doing it on YouTube or it'll be on his thing here. Folks, John is directly over the target. There are so many people out there that are intentionally trying to scare you and lie to you about what's going on with Link2. The facts are what John focuses on, and the facts that I've said it before, I've never been worried about whether I was going to, I don't just think I'm going to get my money out of Link2. I think that I'm going to get a lot of my appreciation, and that's what this conversation is really about. Those assets, I go back to it, the new CEO, he said that the assets are there. He said it was not a scam. Link2 was not a scam, that the assets are there. And all that's being talked about now from reading John's posts is it's just going to be how people realize, well, just look at this. If you're a Link2 customer and SPV private equity unit holder, please tune in today at 2:30. I'll go over the next steps in the bankruptcy process. Many of you have received emails about participating in creditors committee. I'll explain what that means and go over what you need to know. I'll also explain why I filed the case against former CEO and what it means and how it relates or doesn't relate to the bankruptcy process. But know this, listen everyone, because make no mistake, there are people out there that are intentionally trying to muddy the water and intentionally lie about this. There's between $500 million and $2 billion in customer investor money, not Link2 money, on the platform and part of the bankruptcy. Please know we have the power and say in ultimately what happens. If you know anyone who's a Link 2 customer, please pass this along. Now listen close, folks. I know a lot of folks are nervous and experience anxiety, including myself, because they have a substantial percentage, if not all their retirement funds, locked on the platform and at stake. Don't let the naysayers convince you that your money or your investments are gone and lost forever, or that'll only get you pennies on the dollars. Not true. If we organize and stay united, we'll do better than okay. So I'm going to help get the word out with what John's doing as best I can, because he's right. This will be freaking huge for the economy, and it'll flow into everything, folks. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene introduced a bill to eliminate federal capital gains tax on home sales. That would be massive. All right, I'm going to go into DAIXRP.com, which is the Patreon. You can also click below any of my YouTube videos. You can click the join button, or you can join through X. We're going to talk about this XRP price and everything going on, and where a lot of people think this is going, and we are entering exciting times, in my opinion. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.